What's good, fam? We back at you again. BlackNews 404 Studios. I got Ben Nige, aka Blak Pantha of Team O.S.I.R.I.S, in the hot seat right now. We're gonna ask him a couple of questions. We're gonna see how he fares in the hot seat.
I'm gonna give my first answer. My name is Njai.
Oh, Njai. There you go, Njai. I don't know why people say Nige. I say Nige. I have no clue.
American vowels trying to place on the African name. My name is African.
African. All right, gotcha. All right. So, first question we have for you is, after that great demonstrative presentation that you just put on for the people, what message, the bottom line message, do you want them to take home from everything you shared today? What is the bottom line message that you want them to take home from everything that you shared today?
Study West African spiritual systems. Study their West African spiritual systems, their culture, their geography, their agriculture. Study where you come from, man. I mean, Kemet is the zenith. Ethiopia has been described as the first birth of humanity, first Homo sapiens or whatever. Uganda, Congo, you talk about the birth of the Nile and the best, or the Twa, the Pygmies, some people say. But West Africa gets left out unless we're talking about the transatlantic slave trade. Not on my watch.
Awesome.
We're going to study our home. We got to get into that more, family. I'm urging, I'm pleading, I'm begging.
All right, awesome. All right, next question. You made a stop early this morning somewhere.
I did.
And you put a video on Facebook, and a lot of people were commenting on it and trying to figure out what was going on in that. What's the current situation with Empress Sekhmet? How did you meet her? What was going on with that situation? Because a lot of people have been asking me to ask you this. So since you're there in the hot seat, I just want you to divulge what you can, because some things we just not going to say.
I can't tell you because it's still developing and still ongoing. But what happened was, I got a call from my brother, Rocco Hebrew. Shout out QCRBG. Hoo-wee! Some wild African dogs out there. Unaga, my boy, what I'm saying, my queen, my sister, Misty, they out there doing their thing. But I got a distress call from him saying that a sister was in Atlanta and being stalked by white supremacists. And when I say white supremacists, we talking about people going by her house, taking pictures of her, sending them to her, saying, look outside. We have people mimicking, or what they call mimicking in their Google Hangouts, basically shadowing themselves in the Google Hangout so they can, record the Google Hangout. This is a form of hacking. There was a brother doing this, and the organization that was doing this is No Thieves Allowed. A brother named Kevin Collar was doing it. And he basically was the person that went to the police about her because he didn't like the things that she was saying. And when he went to the police on her, they had to take the threat seriously because of the vicinity of where she lived in the police precinct. And I got the distress call. I went over there. We patrolled her house. We stayed with her, made sure that she wasn't harmed. We gave her wise counsel of what was going on. And, after a couple hours, we left. But I definitely wasn't about to sit home and let some white supremacists harm another African person, especially an African woman. I damn sure don't play that. Anybody know Blak Pantha know he don't play that. I wouldn't be able to have that name and let something like that go down because I don't like going to funerals and I don't like putting up RIP hashtags. So I definitely went over there with the intention of busting a motherfucker's ass, but it didn't come to that. When the real RBG guerrillas come out, we don't see any of these things that we see on the news for some reason. But we're gonna protect our black women and our black babies and stand for the black family as much as we can. Currently, the sister's holding tight. I can't go into too many details about what's going on with her, but I expect positive things in the future, and we just want to give a shout out to tell the sister that we love you. We're not judging you. There's things that people that are saying that you did something that they didn't agree with, but regardless of what they say, we are behind you, because there have been plenty of other men in different cultures that have said things way worse than what the sister said, and they were not incarcerated. They were not even prosecuted to any extent of the law. Not only that, the news is not telling that she was being stalked, that she was getting people coming by her crib, that she was getting people honking their horns late at night. The news is not telling you all that. They're just telling you about a woman that looks angry. But why was she so angry? Why was she so threatened and afraid and lashed out in that rage? Her life was being threatened. I personally seen the picture she showed me where a brother was outside, and it looks like he's looking through a scope. And he says, "Look outside." Why aren't they telling you that story? This is real. I mean, this is real. You know, and no help was offered to ever accommodate the sister. And you know, she did her freedom of speech. She stepped on the flag. She waved her RBG flag. And from there were people that wanted to see her dead. That's the bottom line. And she defended herself the best way she knows how. You know, I'm not supporting everything that she did, but we're going to stand behind the sister and say that, you know, we love you and we're going to keep supporting you.
So, is she doing okay? You know, is she all right? You know, again, you know, I have to give all specifics, but we just the people want to know, is she okay? You know, when you put that video out there, they knew you went to go see her. They want to know, is she okay?
She is okay, and you know, we're working. Her father is a brother that, you know, is working really hard to get these charges you know, dropped and everything. But we are very hopeful of a positive outcome.
That's good. That's good. All right. So you didn't see it before, but I just showed it to you not too long ago. A video. So how do you feel about the FBI attempting to implicate King Noble and Louis Farrakhan for similar reasons? For them implicating the sister I.M.P.R.I.S segment, because, you know, they were saying things that were similar. You know, we see that, you know, she got grabbed up sooner than they did, you know. So how do you feel about them, you know, making the same accusations and the FBI now getting involved to investigate them, you know, and see what's going on with those situations as well?
Let me alert the family back home what's going on. What's going on is you got people that I call oppressors, Neanthropoids, people of European descent, that are scanning the airways looking for anything that they consider hate speech or anything that threatens white supremacy or white regularity, as I like to call it. They're spending their own money. I just saw a video that my brother Rocco sent to me in which a guy was on the video talking about he spent $7 grand looking, buying software, hacking, getting information out of people. $7 grand to try to take people down. This is serious, family. We have to be more strategic and more tactically and technically proficient in our speech and actions. There's a way to say things, and you know what? This is where the Moors come in, because y'all know the law. So let's start coming out into our communities and teaching our brothers and sisters the way to say things without violating the law. And not just the Moors. If you're a lawyer, if you're, you know, if you're a secretary at a courthouse, you know a little bit about law, come out and you know, post some videos, some advice, man, because our children are angry, but a lot of them don't have any direction, and they're going to end up saying something that may ruin their life, because these brothers out here are scanning and looking. Now, in regards to Minister Farrakhan and King Noble, everyone that knows me know that those aren't my two favorite people on earth. In regards for them being investigated for the same thing, I bet no one ever thought that was going to happen. King Noble's a clown, plain and simple. He's garbage. He's a garbage historian, garbage leader. Smells like garbage. He's terrible. So I can't say that you know, I'm remorseful that he's being investigated or snatched up by the FBI because he's advocated for raping of women of Africans, citing that rape is revolutionary. He's advocated for pedophilia and in regards to homosexuality being normal forms of behavior and acceptable in the Pan-African movement. I'll be damned if I let anybody touch any of our children in the Pan-African movement. So I really was quite happy when I heard the feds was investigating him, to be quite honest. Minister Farrakhan, I mean, he's you know, everybody knows my views on Mr. Farrakhan, the Dianetics thing, but you know, I'm not getting the full message. I'm not getting the 10,000 men you want to lay down your lives. You're not talking about arming them against people that are armed. What will their sacrifice be for? These are questions that I have, and you know, I'm all for taking a stand, but I don't think the minister should have said what he said the way he said it. You know, he probably should have said, I need 10,000 strong men to stand with me in unity against white supremacy. If you're with me, let me know. And I need fearless men. I wouldn't have said to kill the people that are killing us, because when you use the word kill, they can try to say that you're a hate group or this, that, and the third. And well, we all know they murder us like dogs in the streets, but at the same time, we got to play the game to a certain extent. And when it's time to really get down, we can be ready. We can train and be ready. But you have to act under the code of self-defense and make it clear that it's self-defense. That way it doesn't sound like, you know, you're saying open season on, you know, whoever, you know. It's, I understand the rage. I understand the righteous rage, but we have to be tactically and technically proficient in our speech and action and be more of a self-defense mode than a outright attacking mode, giving the environment that we are currently in. Not saying anybody is wrong. I'm saying we need to be smart.
All right. Will you be going to the Million Man March?
I will not.
And why is that? You don't have to get too personal with it, but
I won't be
why
going.
will you not be going to the Million Man March?
I won't be going because of the premise of the march. I believe is not rooted in anything that will bring any substantial change or fruition to our people. We've been marching a long time, black people. We marched in the 60s on Washington. We did the Million Man March. We did the Million Youth March. We did some women's march after that, and now we're marching again. I don't see any power in marching. This is my personal opinion. I'm not saying it's law or fact, but what I will say is I did research on the march, and the secretary said that they need $4.5 million to pull off the march. I mean, black people, we can't use $4.5 million to build schools, hospitals, something to provide food, clothing, and shelter. How about we raise that money and you can live stream the march or live stream the message? We need that money, black folks. We in an economy where poverty is almost imminent and regular for our people, and we giving $4 million so we can go stand on a lawn. Like, I'm just not getting it. You know, I'm not even gonna go into my personal views on Mr. Farrakhan. I'm just talking about the money. We could use that money to really build our community. I represent, you know, a lot of organizations, and one of them is talking about building an African cooperative economic, and we could use that money to build a African utopia of black businesses. But instead, we're using it to go hear some people speak about what we should do. But we already have the money to do what we should do. We could put that amount in a black bank and do real damage. But instead, we're talking about, you know, gathering again. And I just don't see it bringing any change. I don't see, after the march, the police stopping to kill us. I don't see jobs being created. I don't see us acting in our culture. I don't see the things that we need to combat white supremacy. I just don't see them. So that is why I will not be attending. But I'm not bashing people that are attending, because think about it. If there are a million people there, you've got to take advantage of that dynamic. You've got to take advantage of all those African people together to bring them into organizations that will do the things that I'm talking about. So I'm not knocking anybody going. I'm just saying, for me, I don't think it's a good idea.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts regarding the past African Science and Technology event? You know, what is your view on how that went down and your perception of it, and was it successful? And, you know, we got to hear a little bit about you speak about, you know, the rest of Africa, and you touch on some of that in your lecture earlier. So give us your take on that event.
I thought the event was real powerful, man. I thought the event was real powerful. From the O.S.I.R.I.S squad doing the vote, what I call is the Voltron effect on stage, where we band together and, you know, hit certain points. I mean, just reading the meta-nature on the spot, from Ujawu and Magi to Ngozi breaking it down from science, from on to the archaeology. And then, you know, we had Sarah Soon said he would bring his energy like only he can, you know, and, you know, he ignites the crowd. And then the elder James Smalls at the end just came through with the information. And I mean, he just so smooth with it, man. You know, he just came in and just, you know, with that smooth. What I would have liked to seen though, and you know, it's very difficult sometimes, but we got to get a female energy in there to balance it out next time. You know, we got to have that. Hopefully, Dr. Ma'at is back from. I understand she's overseas, but hopefully she's back by then, so we can insert her into that as well. But I mean, the Science and Technology Conference turned into a whole weekend of productivity in the city of Atlanta. I mean, from Friday picking people up and doing the promo videos and talking science with Inky and Ngozi to the actual event, and everybody that was there. I was surprised to see the young warrior, you know, Eric Shepard was at the event. You know, that to me told me we doing something right, because we capturing the youth's mind. And, you know, we need that. We need to recapture that African mind. You know, Professor Griff came out, and, you know, Red Pill, Blue Pill, who also, Red Pill gave a good presentation as well about the computer and how powerful it is in your house. You know, Minister Inky was there, KT the Arch Degree, Mama Pill was in the house. I mean, Sonetta came down, Brother Sutek, my brother DJ. I mean, it was like a who's who of the conscious community in Atlanta, and most people came right out of town to come, you know, watch this event. So I was happy to share stages with these giants, man, and do something of productivity. And the next day, you know, we went to the Unity March in the hood out there in Bankhead, Howard Parkway, and we, you know, went out there and talked to the gangs, talked to the Muslims, talked to the Christians, talked to the Moors. You know, we talked to these guys about unity, and everybody was with it, man. So it was not only the conference, but just the whole weekend was dope, man. I can't say enough about it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So the next question is, why do you think the Black conscious community puts so much emphasis on ancient Kemet and leaves the rest of Africa out? Not saying that they don't touch on the rest of Africa, but there's a higher emphasis on Kemet as opposed to the rest of the African spiritual system, cultures, customs, etc. Why are we not putting that at the forefront before Egypt? And why do you think Egypt is more, you know, more higher on the scale? And I say that because I hear, you know, some people in the community give reasons for it. Like, for example, Seti says, well, the reason why we talk about Egypt is because Egypt is more documented, you know, than the rest of Africa. You know, and he said you can go there and see these things, you know, which are pillars to the success of African, you know, putting their minds together, using their technology, actually create something. So that's his perspective on why he says Egypt should be at the forefront. But being that, you know, I know you are a Kemetic brother, I know you Egypt is your thing, but at the same time, you found a way to balance not just Egypt, but the rest of African spirituality, most notably West African spirituality. And you was today telling people, you know, the strength that they can get from actually studying West African spirituality. Why do you think that there's so much emphasis on Egypt while almost the rest of Africa is being neglected?
Before I answer your question, let me dispel a rumor that people are putting out about people like myself and people that speak about Kemet. I am not of the Kemetic community. What I mean by that is, first of all, let's break down this meaning. The word Kemetic, it doesn't exist because you're putting Kemet with an ick, psychotic, anything else with an ick in an English word, forensic. This is an English suffix that you're putting with an African word, and so now you're saying Kemetic or Cometians or Kemites. None of that is accurate. If you want to say Kemetic, you would say Kemetai or Kemeti. That would be the equivalent to Kemetic. If you wanted to say Egyptian or a Cometian, it would be Nai Kemet. If you wanted to say people of Kemet, you would say Remich. So that would be the more accurate term. Now, I am a Pan-African and I am an African scholar. I don't have to break it off and slice up the pie and say, I'm only a Kemet scholar or I'm only this. No, we've been separated enough. Put it simply as possible, we've been separated from our home, separated from our culture, separated from our spirituality, separated from our science and spirituality. I don't need to separate us anymore. So I am for Africa. This red, black, and green, this is the Pan-African flag right here. Pan-African Congress carries these colors. The UNIA carries these colors. Outlaw RBG carries these colors. This is African colors. Same colors on the Armor Squad logo. We for Africa, not just Kemet. So let me just, I just wanted to dispel that rumor. I would think it's more attractive because of a couple of things. One thing, the mystery of Kemet. There are all these documentaries put out by numerous outlets that talk about the mystery systems and we still don't know how the pyramids are built, and we talk about the gods and the goddesses and all that. So it's a certain mystery involved because nobody knows how those pyramids were built. They can only present theories. Nobody knows a lot of things in Kemet. They're still digging, they're still uncovering, they're still excavating. Tony Brower, shouts out to the elder Tony Brower. He's a part of an excavation team that's still uncovering things in Kemet. Even my Baba Ashra Kwesi said that most of these things that they had to dig out of the sand. And they're still digging them out of the sand because the sand replaces everything so fast. And I've been in those type of sandstorms in that area to where they're vicious and they can cover your car in 2 minutes. So, you had a temple here, and that's why you see sometimes they'll say this temple was rediscovered. You're like, wait a minute, what are you rediscovered? Yeah, it got covered. So, you got to preserve these temples and stop these things. But, it's very mysterious and attractive. That's the other part. The pyramids are very attractive. The culture is very attractive because you see the high science and the kings and the queens and the Bedu Necha that's still there to stand the test of time. And no, you don't necessarily have those in some African cultures. But African cultures do have those types of things. You just have to dig a little deeper in other areas because they don't have the benefit of the sand and the desert to make these types of structures. Like I said in the lecture, rainforest, you can't be making no pyramids. Because you start building today, you quit for the day, you come back, some trees and grew, some snakes around, and it's not going to be too cool, So, you can't build it like they build in Kemet. And it's very attractive. And, the movies is another way. There's so many, it's like a movie a year about Kemet. There is a fascination worldwide about Kemet. And not to mention, you just came from the conference where out of Mark Rowe's mouth, they date things by Kemet. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you got its contrast with the Bible. People even try to match things up to Kemet. And another element is what Kemet has given to the world. Medicine, science, math, chess, bowling. These are documented as and given credit to as being a part of Nile Valley culture in Kemet. So Kemet is very mysterious. It's a fascination on it from not only media but television, and it's just one of those mysteries that people want to unravel. And being that it's in Africa, we're stolen from our home. We see something that's powerful that even our oppressor can't figure out. Our oppressor can't touch it. So we naturally flock to that and want to know as much about it. And that's great. I love that people are interested in African history, but you got to spread it around. Because, and I tell people, when you spread it around, you'll understand Kemet more. You'll understand Kemet more. Because you'll understand how Kemet's principles came from somewhere else. Life did not begin in Kemet. The Senocians, the Sand tribe, they're from South Africa. They are the oldest people on the planet. After then, I believe it's the Twa people of Uganda. And no one talks about cave PP13A where they found the genetic material of humans going back 190,000 years. That's way older than Kemet. It's way older than Kemet. Nobody talks about the Ankh they found in the rocks in South Africa. So did the Ankh even come from Kemet? See what I'm saying? Our great ancestor John Henry Clark said we came from the South. So let's start from the South and work our way up and then work our way west, and we can cover this entire continent, man, because as I said on my Facebook page once, I say your DNA may point to Kemet or it may point to before Kemet. So let's study it all, man.
Great, great. So really briefly, what brought you into Black consciousness?
Woo!
You know, what is it that woke you up to say, you know what? Wow, this thing is heavy. I didn't know about this before. Let me get involved with it. You know, what woke you up to consciousness? What brought you into the Black conscious community?
People are going to beat me up about this, but I'm going to be honest. What brought me into Black consciousness was Freemasonry. I've been a Prince Hall Freemason since 2010. And initially, you know, I thought I was slipping away from being a good person. And, you know, the motto is to make good men better, and I wanted to be better. So, you know, went through my first 3 degrees, you know, everything was good. Then I became a 32nd degree. Then I started to see the whole book was about Egypt. I was like, what the hell? It's odd. A guy named Albert Pike, a known racist, wrote an 800-page book. Most of it is about Egypt. And he ain't just saying Egypt either. He's talking about Karnak, Luxor, Abydos. You know, what the hell is going on in this book? Then I met a man that put me on my path. His name was Leon Wright. He was my special district deputy. He's actually in the Black Belt Hall of Fame. Leon Wright teaches his own style of martial arts, so Second Rule. And, you know, he's a great teacher. He's been on Black Belt magazine on the cover twice. He put me on to a book called Moore's Circle 7. That started my conscious journey because I had never heard of Moors. I never heard of these Africans that went to Spain. I never heard of these guys. And the book was basically tying the Moorish science to the Masonic science. And I said, I never heard of these guys. So when I finished the book, I said, what else are they hiding? What else wasn't told to me in school? What else has been replaced and whitewashed? So I started digging and digging and digging. And I finally eventually ran into Runoko Rashidi, which was the first elder that guided me along my path. Shouts out to Runoko Rashidi, who has probably the most pictures of black people around the world ever. But he guided me along my path. And I was his student for a while. And then I just kept meeting others that were willing to, I think they saw in me that I was really hungry to know. And, you know, from Professor Griff to, you know, the brothers at the Amon-Ra Squad to Zaza Ali to, you know, Irritated Genie. These brothers saw something in me. Baba Kwesi, they saw something in me and they taught me. They taught me what they knew. So I you know, I'm very grateful to them, but that's what started me on my conscious journey. Believe it or not, it's Freemasonry.
Now, you know you're going to get some flack for that.
But you know,
but
this is what they can't dispel. They can't dispel Dr. Ben, Khalid Muhammad, Asa Hilliard, Professor James Smalls, Leonard Jeffries, rumored to be Marcus Garvey, Nelson Mandela. They can't dispel these freedom fighters that were also Freemasons. So don't just talk about the Freemasons that you don't like J. Edgar Hoover and 17 presidents. Talk about the black Freemasons that did something for the African community. Talk about them because I am of their lineage.
Okay, that was powerful. All right. So, tell the audience something that they don't know about you. Because a lot of people watching this follow you on Facebook. A lot of them know. Some of them don't know you. But for the people that do know you, tell them something that they don't know about you. Something interesting, something unique that they don't know about you. So we're going, this is transparent cam right now. So throw one or two things out there.
I used to play semi-pro professional basketball.
Oh, that was my next question. Well, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, we can go into
yeah,
that.
you can go into that.
Okay,
we're going to go into that next.
Let's see, something they don't know about me. My father is a first-generation African, born in Banjul, Gambia. I have brothers that were also born in Banjul, Gambia. One brother that was born in Liberia. So people think that I'm simply, second generation African, or what they call African American. I just say we're all Africans. But my father, being a first generation African, I got to see African culture up close when I would go to visit him. And I got to experience things. The greatest gift my father gave me is me knowing where I'm from without having to take a DNA test, without having to go anywhere. That's the greatest gift he could have ever gave me, because I know where my people are. The average African trapped in America just doesn't have that. And that was something that, I thank him for to this day, even though he's transitioned to the heavenly realms. That's something very important for me. Something else that people don't know about me. I used to be in the United States Army. People don't know that about me. I have been to Afghanistan twice with the United States Army.
What division?
The 101st Airborne Air Assault Division out of Fort Campbell. I was a screaming eagle. And, many people still remember me for my many basketball championships at that fort. But, I was at a crossroads in my life that I thought that I was headed for jail. And I needed a plan and a way out. And I had ROTC training. And I used that to get a job and to complete college and get myself in a better situation. Veterans Day is kind of hard for me because I realized, upon my research, that they used me for a fake war that they induced, and I could have died. But, I did survive. And anybody that thinks about going into the military, I tell them, if you have no more options, use them as much as they're going to use you. They got programs to pay back to student loans. They got programs where you go to college for free and get paid. They got programs for you to get yourself out that hole that you might be in. So if you out of options and you about to go down and you thinking about doing something stupid, because I was thinking about robbing people. So if you think about doing something stupid, go ahead, go enlist, but use them to get what you need and get out of there.
So did you go to college?
Yes, I went to Auburn University at first, and then after that I finished at Ashford University for my degree in logistics.
In logistics?
It is in logistics.
Okay, that's what's up. I never knew that. I knew you went to school. I didn't know what you.
Supply chain management logistics. That's my degree. That's my field, man.
Nice.
I move stuff around.
Right. All right. So the next one is what we was going to talk about. Can you still hoop? Can you still play ball? I don't know. I mean, man, I heard you talk on the phone, talking about you can't sit too long in a chair.
Man, the pain don't go. The pain is always gonna be there. Any basketball player,
yeah.
I'll tell you.
So tell them about your like the basketball. Give us a basketball diary. Let the people know about, because this is something people probably don't know that And when I was getting to know you, and you told me that you played in Rutgers, I was like, what? What do you playing Rutgers? What are you talking about? You told me what your name was, and I was like, yo, what? I knew I see you from somewhere. Yeah.
I have a lot of friends, that still play in And1, still playing the ball up, street ball. Shouts out to my boy Lil D, the Mosquito, 5'4", killing him out there this year. I'm proud of you. He was actually my high school point guard. I went to Auburn to walk on. I was on practice teams for many years. Left Auburn. Went to play semi-pro professional basketball in Jackson, Tennessee with the West Tennessee Jaguars of the New World Players Basketball League, I think it was called. Left that team because the whole league folded. Was playing with the Rome Gladiators in the WBA. Left that team. Excuse me. Kept trying out for different teams. ABA, this, that, and third. Left it alone for years. Played throughout the Army. Played all Army basketball. Won some championships at Fort Campbell. After I got out, I went back to semi-pro for a while, and I played with my brother, one of my boys' teams, GIE Molly Matrix, in the UBA. I've played in that too. Played in pro summer leagues. What's the pro league called that David Archer has here? It's at Clayton State University. Southern Eastern Basketball League. It's one of the best summer basketball leagues in Atlanta. I played at Venice Beach in California. I played at Rucker Park. I played at West Forth. I played against NBA players. One of my friends growing up was Dwight Howard. We used to play against each other every day. I played against J.R. Smith. I played against these guys. So, I'm well versed in playing ball and been playing all my life. So
how'd you end up in the AN1 competition?
What happened was
because you're a native of Georgia, right?
I'm actually a native of California.
Well, that's where you was born, right?
And lived in California for a while, but then I moved here from Georgia. But they used to have this gym in Georgia called the Run and Shoot, man. And Run and Shoot was the best gym where you could get the best competition in the city of Atlanta. And anybody that knows basketball from that area knows that. From my man Robert Martin, they call him 50. From my man Spider, who played AN1, he used to be there. My man Flight used to be there. Anybody will tell you this was the gym where it went down. I mean, had about 8 full courts in there, gym, weight room, sauna, workout. I mean, it was a state-of-the-art facility where you could just go and get down. And they got the upper echelons of court. You start on the court where nobody knows you, and then you keep moving, and you get to the grown folks court. So, I was playing on the grown folks court by the time, I was in high school, because, you had to earn your keep out there. And, AN1 was popping off. So I knew a couple of guys that was playing with him, 50, Hot Sauce. We used to play against Sauce all the time. I've had many battles with Sauce. My boy J. Rue, Jonathan Murray, used to play with them. And, just keeping in contact with these guys, my boy High Riser, just keeping in contact with these guys. I got to play in a few street ball games with these guys and, had some fun. And, I was there through the AN1 craze to the ball for real craze and now the ball up craze. I played against most of these guys. And shouts out to my brother, John Humphrey. They call him the helicopter. Out there overseas getting it. Boy gets buckets, and that's my brother. But these guys are talented, and it was fun. It was a fun era, but it's a difference between, that era and, serious basketball. But not to say that those guys can't play, because a lot of those guys either play in pro leagues or played overseas or have the skills too. So, it's just fun, man. I can hoop. Who won?
That's what's up. That's what's up. Because we might start a black conscious basketball league. So I'm gonna just keep that on the wraps for now. But just wanted to put it out there. So we gotta know if you can hoop. See which team want to draft you. Feel me? So all right. So to wrap this up, tell the family what you got going next. What can they expect from Blak Pantha? What can they expect from Team O.S.I.R.I.S? What events that you got coming up, lectures you got coming up, moves that you're making, next event that you're going to be at, next movement you're supporting. What can they expect from you next? And with that, tell the people how they can reach you. So let us know what to expect next from you and tell the people how they can reach you.
All right. Great thing about Atlanta is something going on almost every weekend. So if it's a Black Power event in Atlanta, you might catch me there. If it's a Black Power event in Atlanta, you might catch me there. If it's a Black Power event in Atlanta, you might catch me there. So if it's a Black Power event in Atlanta, you might catch me there. So if it's a Black Power event in Atlanta, you might catch me there. So if it's a Black Power event in Atlanta, you might catch me there. So if it's a Black Power event in Atlanta, you might catch me there. So if it's a Black Power event in Atlanta, you might catch me there. So if it's a Black Power event in Atlanta, you might catch me there. So if it's a Black Power event in Atlanta, you might catch me there. So if it's a Black Power event in Atlanta, you might catch me there. So if it's a Black Power event in Atlanta, you might catch me there. So if it's a Black Power event in Atlanta, you might catch me there. So if it's a Black Power event in Atlanta, you might catch me there. So if it's a Black Power event in Atlanta, you might catch one of the things that I'm working on next is a couple of different spiritual systems. I'm working on a presentation about the Odiani, which is the Igbo people, who were the people that made the pyramids that I showed in Nigeria. But I'm also working on an African mask presentation. I want to present that as well. You can always catch me with Team O.S.I.R.I.S on their YouTube channel, Google Hangout, and webpage, Team O.S.I.R.I.S. You can always catch me around the O.S.I.R.I.S squad, Real Black Atheist Show. I'm usually on there. Doing work in my community with my comrades, Outlaw RBG. We do work around here, and you can always catch me with my boys, DJs, Zaya, Malik, KT. I'm always around them. I am more than likely going to be at the Comedic Armageddon Conference December 13th. Definitely looking forward to that. So that's going to be dope. I definitely think that some information is going to come out of that to be powerful. And, people are going to be, oh, you always talk about Kemet. We talk about Kemet enough. Well, let's set the record straight for one final thing, because you're not going to catch the O.S.I.R.I.S squad, Infudishi, Sarah Sudasetti, Brother Polite. You're not going to catch us all together just regularly. We don't, we all live in different states. We do different things. So, let's put it down for the ancestors. Let's let the truth and our ancestors speak. We got brothers on the squad that read Metal Nature way better than me, family. So they're going to be coming. We got scientists coming. We're coming to give the information to the people the way it's supposed to be given, the way Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, Theophile Omega, Sheikh Antijoke did. So that's going to be something that I think is going to be powerful. And,
I can also do a search for you on YouTube. There was a video that you did, Team O.S.I.R.I.S. What was that presentation that you was doing?
O.S.I.R.I.S versus Netaru.
Yeah, so
yes,
definitely get on YouTube, type that in, look him up. That was powerful right there.
Right.
I mean, he broke a lot of stuff down that I wasn't aware of. You know what I'm saying?
That's a comparative analytical analysis between the Netarus and the Orishas, showing similarities between the different type of deities. So you definitely look me up on there. I type my name in. I got a couple other lectures. I did one with the Nile Valley Scholars. Shouts out to Brother Tahuti, Brother Pantha. I did one with them. I also, you can always find me on Facebook.
How can they people reach you? Facebook, Instagram, email.
JAMINNJIE is my name on Facebook. That is my real name. I don't have a moniker or anything. And if my friends list is full, you can definitely hit me up in my inbox, ask any question. I'll check all my messages, even if it goes to the other inbox. Join my Facebook page, Young Conscious Minds, African Diaspora. Definitely can get me on there, or you can find me on the Team O.S.I.R.I.S page. You can find me in there. And on Instagram, the name is CINQUET. And you can follow me on there. I'm always dropping, different pictures and this, that, and third. So,
All right, that's what's up. So thank you, family, for watching. This is another BlackNews 404 Studios production. My brother, Benjamin
Njai.
There you go. I want to keep saying it wrong. Brother Njai, a.k.a. Blak Pantha of Team O.S.I.R.I.S. He laid it down in the presentation. If you guys want the official copy of the presentation, the link will be up soon, so that way you guys can order the DVD. But the live stream will be up, so you guys can definitely check it out. This exclusive interview you won't get anywhere else out here in Atlanta in the ATL. You know what I'm saying? But my brother just laid it down, was very honest and transparent. And that's the type of stuff that we're going to be asking everybody in the hot seat. He represented well, so I give him props for that. So thank you, family, for watching. We want to say peace, Black Power, and we love you all. So tune in again to our next presentation, BlackNews 404 Studios. Back at you.
Arrows up.